Hi folks, come out and see us at Backyard Spa and Leisure here at 4105 Southwestern. Come out and see the finest selections of sunrooms, pergolas, hot tubs, outdoor kitchen and living space, everything for the backyard. Give us a call.
Wake up! Wake up! We're here! We're here! It's pigskinreview.com. Wow! My name is Lance Lahnert. I'm the sports editor of the Globe News. Glad to be here again.
I'm Jon Mark Beilue, columnist from the Globe News, and I'm glad to be here again too.
We are in week 3 of our games, Jon Mark, and what have you seen kind of come around here?
Well, one of the things that's jumped out at me and you and probably everybody else is the fact that both Caprock and Randall are 3-0, two teams that have been struggling in the last few years.
I totally agree with you. I mean, and they actually have the week off this week, but they play each other next week. So Caprock hasn't been 3-0 since like 1997. They haven't been 4-0 since 1971. So they're doing great things there. Seth Parr, really terrific passing offense going on right now, Jon Mark. They have one of the more accurate quarterbacks in Gerardo Ruiz, but they're playing with a lot of confidence.
They really are. And then you have Randall, which last year under Brian Wood, I think won 1 game. And so they've tripled their win total from a year ago. And, you know, based on the early going, those two and Hereford would have to be among the favorites in that district race, which gets going in a couple of weeks.
Which we wouldn't have predicted that 3 weeks ago.
No.
So congratulations to the Rock and Randall.
Well, listen, we have a special guest with us today, Mike Lozano, head football coach at Boys Ranch. The Rough Riders are 2-1 and are playing very well. And Lance, I believe you interviewed Mike earlier, so let's listen to what the head man of the Rough Riders has to say.
Coach Lowe has been at Boys Ranch. This is your 6th year now.
6th year, yes, sir.
Tell us your experience about Boys Ranch and why you chose it.
Well, I tell you what, you know, Boys Ranch is always, I mean, it's always been in the back of my mind, you know, and being there, you know, when I was there at Randall and the years I was there, and the neat thing, how everything just kind of just came together and felt that that's where I needed to be. And we really got special kids out there. We really got a lot of athletic talent. It's just being able to channel that and bring it together.
Right now, the Rough Riders are 2-1, coming off a big win over Vega in the rivalry game of Oldham County, and a lot of just a tremendous atmosphere.
Oh, it really was. Of course, you know, when you mention Oldham County to our kids, that means nothing to them. I got to be a little bit more. You know, I use it, you know, the Canadian River Shootout, because we got like the Canadian River just right down the road there. So I mean, they can visualize that a little bit better. And the only 2 teams that play football in Oldham County, and you know, somebody's going to win. And it's always, in the last few years, it's been real exciting.
Tell us a little bit about your team. You're 2-1. You know, Laquan McGowan, the great lineman you have there, humongous man, and committed to Baylor. Congratulations on that.
You know, knowing going in just the quality of leadership we were going to have, and really they have taken ownership of the team. These kids believe in each other, and they can say, Coach, we can get it done. And just like Laquan was saying, you know, Coach, you run behind me, we'll get in the end zone. And that's the kind of team that we've got, that they're taking ownership of it, and that's what you got to have.
This week you have Spring Lake Earth. I just saw in the Harris ratings today, as a matter of fact, I know you want to hear this, they're ranked #1. So can you talk about that? Obviously it's a big challenge for you guys.
Well, it's always a big challenge. Every week we step out, it's going to be a big challenge. And the fact, of course, knowing that the way our district was going to be set up, I'm thinking, well, you know, we cannot sit there and get the easy wins. We've got to prepare each week and get better each week.
And I just want to say, Coach Lozano, he'd appreciate any prayers out there. The man has gone through, he's a cancer survivor. I had my father pass away of cancer, and it's a big issue for me, and I'm sure yourself.
Definitely, and the thing about it, you know, it's been a really neat thing, especially out at the ranch. You know, the way people care for you and always asking about you, and the team themselves. I mean, they were real concerned. You know, especially last year when I was going through all the surgeries, and then finally, you know, when I was, you know, done and going through the, you know, strength and conditioning this summer, they're all going, all right, Coach Lowe is back.
Jon Mark, Coach Lowe, such a great guy. You know, they're fortunate to have him at Boys
Well,
Ranch.
it's a special place because of the boys there and how they are there. And there's a bigger mission there than just winning football games, but he's doing his share of it. And he's got the Rough Riders in contention in a strong, tough district.
Well, that's the toughest district by far. So, hey, let's get to games this week.
All right, let's go.
And see what's going on. Let's go with Midland Lee and Amarillo High out of the box, Jon Mark. Midland Lee comes up here, believe it or not, 2 weeks in a row. This is the first of their two trips up here. You wouldn't ever think that.
That's true. You know, and they play Amarillo High. It's the Sandy's homecoming, and I saw Lee last week. They, you know, typical James Morton team. They can throw the ball too, and but they also are primarily a running attack. Really, I think it's going to be two teams that just like to smash mouth each other.
It's going to be old school. Amarillo High opened with a loss. Now they've got two straight wins in a row, outscored their opponents 56-7. So it seems like that offense is getting finding its groove.
That was an impressive road win over Ryder, no question about it.
Hey, we have a game here. Dumas, undefeated Dumas, goes into Borger. A little bit of a rivalry there. They're in different classifications, but Coach Burt's doing a great job with the Demons. And Borger obviously plays that tough schedule.
Well, Borger at home is going to be tough, but Dumas, I believe they're 2-0 or 3-0 out of the blocks and undefeated and 2-0.
Yeah.
And Coach Burt, like you say, has them playing well. When those two teams get together, it's kind of like Borger Pampa, Borger Dumas. It makes for a real spirited rivalry.
Anyway, Canyon goes down to Lubbock, plays Lubbock Estacado. You had a chance to see the Eagles last week, Jon Mark.
Yeah, Canyon did not come off a really impressive performance, and they'll be the first to admit that against Goddard. And Roswell lost 40-14, and basically it was a lot of turnovers that led to that score. I know they like to redeem themselves and just play a lot better, but boy, they're going up against a talented team in Estacado.
Did you see any UFOs down there in Roswell?
Well, I saw a lot of the museums. I saw some plastic UFOs, but I did not see the real thing.
I was waiting for that Jon Mark Beilue column on UFO site.
Well, I had to get out. I needed to get out into Area 51 or whatever it is for that to happen.
That's great. West Texas High's at Spearman. Spearman's kind of a fun story. They're 3-0 and doing a great job. Steve Rodman has them really playing well.
Well, Spearman has been struggling some in the previous few years, but they've kind of hit their stride early, and I know another win over a 1A team in West Texas High would put them up to 4-0 and have them really feeling good about themselves as they get closer to the start of district play.
And Keith Harden, West Texas Comanche's doing a great job there. They 2-1, and believe it or not, Jon Mark got like 840 yards rushing, about 100 yards passing. So you're kind of back to the old school there where they can mash you pretty hard.
That's a sports writer's dream, those fast games with no incomplete passing.
So that brings us to our big state
remodeling
Player of the Week. Thank you for the help there.
It's a mouthful.
Let's go up to Canadian. I mean, we've already had a Canadian player, but how many times does a receiver catch 270 yards, receiving yards? Isaac Lewis, Canadian Wildcat, caught 7 patches for 270 yards, 3 touchdowns, ran in a PAT, rushed a couple times for 15 yards, had 2 solo sacks, 4 assisted tackles. I mean, you know, in return to kick like 53 yards.
He kind of did it all, and when Canadian scores 55 points, you know that somebody's doing something, and certainly Isaac was one of them that was doing that, and probably really, he really broke Perryton's back in a number of different ways.
Yeah, so Isaac Lewis, you are our big state remodeling
you are
player
the man.
of the week.
You are the man.
Lightning round.
Back for the lightning round. Lightning struck last week, struck on me. I was only 5-3. Lance was our first week winner at 6-2, but this was week 2 of the lightning round as we quickly predict key games in the area. So let's get started.
I'm going to go with Estacado. I mean, you saw Canyon last week, so it's the Matadors.
Canyon's got some things that it needs to solve, but Estacado's a tough team to solve it against, so I'm going with Estacado too. Amarillo High's at home. It's homecoming. They're on a roll. I think that'll make the difference. I think the Sandies will win them.
Not to be a homer, because I want to beat Jon Mark, but that's going to happen. Amarillo High will win a close game.
I'm going with the Demons on the road. They're just a little bit too tough, and I think they'll handle Borger at home.
It's called Burt Ball. Burt Ball go 3-0. The Demons in a W. Oh, come on. Are you serious? It's an Oklahoma school. It's Stratford big time.
Stratford rebounds in a big way and puts a big number up on Tech's home. Well as Fritch has been playing, this is a little bit too much of a challenge. I'm going to go with Canadian at home.
All respect to Fritch, but Canadian Wildcats have Ryan Alexander in the middle. Coach Chris Ketting, his first year, they are on a roll. It's a W. Me? Okay, Wheeler. Wheeler, just too much running game, Jon Mark.
Highland Park's had a big win, but boy, when you face Wheeler and what they can do, they'll pound you and they'll win this game. I'm going to go with Skyrockets. They've got some big play potential, and I'm going to go with Wellington in this one.
Skyrockets in Flight, some song of the 70s. I'm going with it. Oh, wow. I'm going with the Wildcats to get in the W. They're going over to the Land of Enchantment. Go, Cats. Give me a win.
You know, I'm going to be just a little bit different. When you go into the Land of Entrapment, weird things happen, as Canyon found out. I hope the road wins, but I'm going to say Santa Rosa in a bit of an upset.
The lightning round over. The scoreboard face-off.
So for all you fans, don't forget, you can follow us on Twitter, you can follow us on Facebook. Just make sure that you also send in your scores every Friday night as we can get some real-time updates of all the action that's going on across the Panhandle. Well, we'll see you next week back here on Pigskin Review, and good luck to all the teams in the Panhandle this weekend. And everybody go out, support your local high school football team.
Most definitely. Go out and watch your hometown team play.